All right, sports fans, welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. Once again, thank you so much for joining in. As you see in my screen tonight, big game Minnesota Vikings versus the Rams. I do have the Vikings on this one. But listen, with Cooper Cup and Stratford, man, I tell you, it's going to be probably, if it's not a defensive game, it's going to be probably an offensive game. Now, a lot of things going around the league, guys, and one major concern that has everybody complaining, whining, and actually kind of upset is because the Pittsburgh fans wants Mike Tomlin out of Pittsburgh. Now, I'm gonna tell you that right now, that's not gonna happen, guys. It's not gonna happen. I know you fans are upset. You guys exit, losing your last four games, five with the playoff. I said all along, if you guys could have gone at least 2-2 in that game. Remember, you guys started off great, 10-3, and then lost your last four until you guys, hit rock bottom going back to your rival team, the Ravens, and they beat you convincingly. I mean, let's be honest. Derek Hendrick is a beast, man. He's unstoppable. I mean, he's hard to stop. So, but in the news, I mean, there's fake news out there, guys. It says Tomlin is fired. Don't look at that's not true. Okay, I seen Popcaster already complaining and whining. He is the winningest coach, man. He has a good winning percentage. He doesn't have a losing season. Okay, but I understand that that's regular season. When it comes to the playoff, he has struggled, but at the same time, he has a lot of injuries, and that's one thing you got to look at. I tell everybody sometimes it's not easy to win in this league. Okay, it's not easy. And unfortunately, a lot of the players came out and said that they weren't prepared. Yes, I understand the coach has a responsibility, which is the accountability of the players, but you also have a defensive coach. You know, you could run out of excuses, okay? Because you face this team twice a year. You play the Ravens twice a year, regardless. Uh, the only thing I could tell you is coming to this offseason now, 2025, my thing is, will Tomlin keep Russell Wilson and Justin Field? Because now you are going to see a quarterback race, or a quarterback controversy, whatever you want to call it. I do believe so. I mean, Mike Tomlin, like I said once again, he has a tough decision to make. I know Russell Wilson said he would like to return back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He loves playing there, and who knows, But then you got Justin Fields. He wants to start. He wants to play. He wants to become the starter. Now, how good could that go? How good could it be? I have no idea. The only thing I tell you is that they want Tomlin actually out of Pittsburgh, and those are the fans. And once again, that's frustration, guys. Frustration. Now tonight we got a big game, like I said earlier. We do have a big game, which is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Rams. They have Minnesota by 2.5 points. I think it's going to be probably a back and forth game. Which defense will prevail? I know Minnesota got a great defense with Brian Flores, but at the same time, Donald could slump. You see, nobody knew that was coming. What happened yesterday night with Tampa Bay losing to the Commanders. By the way, congratulations. But once again, all their home team won the first round except Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay basically was an up and down season for them. One game they play good, one game they don't play good, and that's what it was. And the records for the Commanders just say it all, guys. The Commanders it's not a bad team, just a young team. Are they going far? I don't think they're going far. Okay, because they got to compete with the Eagles, they got to compete with the Vikings to win. They got to compete with Detroit Lions, and I don't think they're there yet. Now you never know. You got Cinderella teams that can surprise you. So, but going back to Mike Tomlin, his decision making, especially the game that he played on Saturday. I mean, this defense has allowed 464 yards of total offense to the Ravens. Guys, that's a lot. Okay, and looking at their losses. Okay, another thing, you can't win in this league. 314 yards to the Bengals. They only had 193 yards. And this is their 4 game. I mean, and I'm going backwards because this is their 4 game losing streak. Which I said to myself, you can't win this league, and then, you know, you play Kansas City, 389 yards allowed. Now Pittsburgh did much better, 364. But once again, the drop catches from Pickens, that hurts the team too. So, and those are the things that you got to look at, down the road. And then you had Baltimore beat them. And here we go again, 34-17 on week 16. They allowed 418 yards. Okay, they're just statistics. It doesn't matter. But look at the yards they allowed. Okay, that's a lot of yardage. And for me, if they could have won 2-2, I can say it again. I mean, they'll be in the driver's seat right now. We wouldn't talk. Then they go to Philadelphia and they allow 401 yards, and they only had a total of 163. So there's work to be done in Pittsburgh. Now, I don't think the answer is to let Mike Tomlin go. I mean, that makes no sense. Okay, he's a winning coach. Okay, regardless, I wish I have it in my team. Okay, maybe he needs a little bit discipline. Maybe he needs more accountability to his coaches. Because one thing, talking to Pittsburgh fans and talking to my subscribers, they were saying that Tom is a good coach, but when it comes to the coaching staff, he's not hard enough, with them. So that's something they're gonna have to work out. I mean, it's like McDaniel's down in Miami. I've been preaching it: accountability, discipline, and that's something they're gonna have to do. You have to be held accountable for what you're doing. You got to have your team disciplined to come to play. And then you got leadership. What happened to the leadership? Where the leadership went to this team, losing 4 games in a row. So let me get you the AFC, which is set already for the playoffs coming up this week. As you see here, you have Houston at Kansas City on ABC Saturday at 4:30 p.m. You got Baltimore at Buffalo. Man, guys, this is going to be a heck of a game. That's Sunday at 6:30. So you have 1 game Saturday, 1 game Sunday. You have Baltimore at Buffalo. This is a game to watch because I'm going to say this from the get-go. Okay? If Baltimore wants to win this game, Henry got to run the ball. That's the key thing for Baltimore, run the ball. Remember, you're going to deal with Allen that could run. Okay, you got Cook, James Cook, that also can run. So you're going to have 2 backs that's going to have a heck of a game. Now, which defense is going to show up? That's my point. What defense is going to show up on Sunday? The Buffalo Bills defense or the Ravens defense? Now, in the end side, we have the American. Now we have the National. Okay, so it sounds like I'm doing baseball, huh? We got Washington at Detroit. That could be over, guys. That could be over. And then you got Philadelphia waiting for the winner of Minnesota and the Rams tonight. And I could believe Minnesota could beat Philadelphia. Believe it or not. Okay? That's something you guys better keep your eye on. All right? The Eagles beat the Green Bay Packers yesterday, guys. But it didn't look as good as you think. Now, remember, I said it all along yesterday in my podcast. Hurst just came out a concussion protocol, came back to the field, hasn't played, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever you want to call it. And he didn't look sharp. He did not look sharp at all. Okay? His percentage, his rating, passing rating at quarterback was atrocious. I mean, it looks terrible. When I looked at it, I said, what in the world? By you winning like that and scoring, I say, wow. But, I mean, his passing rating was ridiculous, guys. Like I said, I was not impressed. I mean, Love had a 41 And then of course he got hot at the end, and it says passing rating of like 111.4, but he was 13 for 21 for 131 yards and two TDs. Now Barkley, yeah, that's the key of the game out there. 25 carries, 119 yards. Uh, Love, three interceptions, a rating of 41.5. Well, when I was seeing Hurst at the game, he had like 60%, but I guess he improved at the end of the game. But still, man, he doesn't look 100%, okay? Uh, Jacob had a good running game, 18 carries, 81 yards, one TD. Unfortunately, I mean, Green Bay just couldn't do it. And I still believe that Love elbow was bothering him. People say no, but I think it was, guys. I think that's what happened. But anyhow, you play at Philadelphia, it's gonna be tough to beat the. And then Buffalo had 471 yards against the Denver Broncos. So you might see a good game between the Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. But anyhow, I want to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel. I'm up to 280. It might change tonight. Every time I say the number, it decreases, but it's okay, guys. I need you to really, really, really hit the thumbs up button. I really need you guys to hit the comment. You got to have a comment, guys. You got to have something to tell me so I could tell you. Tell me who your team is. We talk general sports here. Not only the Miami Dolphins right behind me, which that's another one I got to work on because there's a lot going on in Miami. We don't know what's going to happen with the Miami Dolphins, but I can tell you one thing. It's not looking good for the Dolphins. And for Dolphin fans out there, I'm going to tell you straightforward. This is not a rebuilt season. I want you to take that off your back. This is not going to be a rebuilt season. It's not. Okay? Either you win this year or you're gone. Unfortunately, that's all I can tell you. I mean, it's going to be a tough year now. You got the salary cap, you got the cap space, you got free agency. Dolphins are about to lose a lot of players. Maybe they could restructure the contract. Uh, Same thing with a lot of teams out there. Trade's a possibility. Um, but this team is not getting any younger, guys. They're getting older. Tariq Hill still, there's still things out there about Tariq Hill. They're saying he's not happy. He still wants to leave. And, I'm tired of rumors, guys. But, you know, uh, here's a question I want to bring to everybody. Would you sign Tariq Hill with the year that he had with the Dolphins this year and last year with a wrist injury? I don't think you're going to get much from him. Adam Schefter came out and say that he wants to stay in Miami. Okay, he has to prove something. I mean, you got, Greer. Greer. I mean, I think he really messed up this team. I really do. I think Poyer was a bad pick. People got excited when we got him, but one thing, like I say, and this is not only on the Miami Dolphins, every team, guys, the injuries. The injuries has hurt this team year after year after year. My subject to this is this, and I'll stop talking about the Dolphins. Will Tua Tagovailoa be healthy? Now I'm not concerned with the concussion. I'm concerned with that hip. That hip was injured against the Houston Texans. Then it got bad when the Bosa, I think, hit Tua in the game or sack him in the game, and it got worse. And then suddenly it comes out of there. The doctor says he cannot play no games, and if he goes to the playoff, he cannot play the playoff game. Which I'm glad Miami didn't make it to the playoffs. I mean, I'm sorry to say that as a Dolphin fan, but we was not going to go far anyhow. We had to face the Buffalo Bills. So, but anyhow, thank you once again. Those that have subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. I appreciate everything that you guys have done. I make it brief and short. Man, enjoy the game tonight between the Vikings and the Rams. Of course, this is my Monday recap. I'll come back on Wednesday, and then I'll see you on Friday. And this is my pick, the Vikings. I like Vikings by probably 3 points. It's going to be a close game, back and forth. And by the way, I'm 3-1 in the playoffs. My only loss was the Chargers versus the Texans. I was shocked with the Texans. And let me tell you something. And I'll say this again. Okay? You got to be careful with the Texans. And I'll tell that to Kansas City. Because if they get healthy at the right time and their offensive line get it going with Mixon running the ball, I think the Kansas City Chiefs will have a problem. The only advantage that they got, you're playing in Kansas City. I am a firm believer in home field advantage. I got fan of mine, I got subscribers that doesn't agree with me. That says, well, look at the percentage of winning at home and winning on the road. It's pretty big. So, but anyhow, thank you so much. You guys have a good night. And once again, man, don't forget to subscribe, to the channel, Sports Night with Jorge. I love you guys. God bless. And talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much.